Hey, I don't know what happened. Don't mind me. Technical difficulties. But here we go. I'm back. I'm alive. Accidentally turned off my VPN in the middle of that, so I wasn't sure if this was even going to show. But I guess it is. Anyway, appreciate you for tuning in. Wanted to talk a little bit about current events, a little bit about what's been going on with me. I've been MIA for a little bit, been sick, been dealing with a lot of mental health issues, which is obviously ironic because I talk about mental health issues, and that's how, like, for me, to me, it's authentic. You know what I mean? You don't. The fake people are the ones that say they never go through the mental health problems that they talk about. You know what I mean? Everybody does. Everybody's dealing with it, and sometimes you got to step away from everything for a little bit and get your mind right. You know what I mean? It seems like chaos and craziness and everything is going around the world right now, and everywhere you look, it's it's wild. Like, for example, talking about the eclipse, like all these like doomsday messages have like sank into everybody. Like, that's all you ever see online when you hear about any celestial event now. It's like doomsday. The world's ending on that specific day. Or what I heard, we have 40 days of judge or 40 days to repent now or something since this eclipse. I don't know. But that's really hot. It burned all the way down, just so you know. All the way down the spine or the esophagus here, burned all the way down. All right. Love it. Anyway, again, I love getting on here and talking about stuff. It's stuff that interests me. It's my passion to try to help people out. I did, again, seeing all the doomsday messages about the eclipse like really tripped me out. Like, honestly, when I was deep in addiction, I got really obsessed with end of the world ideals. I researched literally every end of the world prophecy you could possibly think of. And what it would do to me when I did that, like, first of all, it gives you like a little bit of a high. It gives you like, oh, I know something you don't know, kind of a deal. But the more you think about how the world is going to end, the more you realize like you don't actually continue living your life like you're supposed to. You're supposed to live in the here and now, not focus on, hey, the world's going to end tomorrow, the world's going to end next month. The world's going to end when the world's going to end, and the fact that matter is, like I said in my video I did the other day, none of us ever truly know when the world's going to end. We could all die tonight, comet could hit and kill us all, and the fact is nobody's going to know. They're not going to tell us. Like, the rich people, everybody who really runs the planet's going to go underground. They're going to survive, or maybe they won't, and they're not going to tell us because it would risk mass hysteria. Crazy. But so the point of the matter is, don't focus on the end time, don't focus on when or if we're going to die. The point is to live here in the moment that you're in right now. That's all you really have. It's the Zen path, right? Live here and now. But so as you can see, clearly we did not die in this apocalyptic solar eclipse, right? I spent quite a bit of time online reading comments to try to get ammunition for my ideas and get all fired up about it. And every time I watch anything space related, anything eclipse related, it's biblical stuff or it's flat Earth. Flat Earth has taken a serious hold on the internet, and now the flat Earth and the biblical stuff seem to go hand in hand, because that's where they're getting a lot of their ideas from, is the old idea of the firmament talking about in the Bible. But in my opinion, whether or not people come for me in the comments on this because it's hilarious, it doesn't matter. Like, in my opinion, I don't believe the Earth is flat. I think that, to put it out there, I'm a very open-minded person, and I've watched every video anybody's ever sent me on the idea. And the truth is, it's really easy to convince people who are in a negative state of mind that everything they've ever believed is a lie. So what does that mean? So people who are depressed all the time, they seek information, just like I said a minute ago, that makes them feel different, that makes them feel, hey, I know something that you don't. And that's what I believe that the flat earth stuff is doing, is sinking into that side of these folks. And they're like, I know something you don't. You guys are all non-believers. You know what I mean? But specifically on that one, because I'm an avid conspiracy guy. So I'm, again, very open minded. There's too much about science and too much about the world that would have to be incorrect for that to be plausible. For example, I'll use the simplest example I possibly can. For us, I live in Washington State. You could go up to Alaska. You can go from Alaska to Russia. From there, you can go all the way through Europe, all the way across the ocean, and then come back, to the United States. How would that work on a flat plane? It can't, you know what I mean? So, for again, they that would have to be too much of what we know in this world would have to be wrong for that to be true. Too much of science would have to be wrong, too much of physics. And that's why one of those ones, like, I don't think that there's enough plausible, solid evidence to back that conspiracy up. And I'm all about conspiracies. I'm all about different conspiracy theories, especially when they come out and proven to be true. MK Ultra is a prime example of that. Let me see. I didn't cut myself off. That'd be messed up if I was talking for like 10 minutes and not. We got chat. I said over the way to just have the eclipse. Aren't we all supposed to be dead? The answer was that we are in purgatory. I work with a couple flat earthers. Yeah, I know, man. I actually, Nikki was talking to me about that earlier, and it's near impossible to argue with them about it anymore because they use misquoted Bible terms or texts from prior to a few years ago. No one ever heard about this idea. No one who has interpreted the Bible up until now was interpreting it as, yes, the earth is flat and this is what they're talking about. This is my evidence. Like, up until a few years ago, nobody ever heard about this. Now it's literally everywhere you look, everywhere. And the fact is, people are easily manipulated. Like, that's the truth. Anybody can get on and speak from a place, of purpose or whatever you want to call it, and convince you of anything they want you to believe. It's as simple as that. You can get on the internet and say, researching from a place of bias. I'm gonna use this as an example. If you start from a place of bias, hey, the earth is flat, you can find tons and tons of YouTube videos that would suggest to you that exact thing. You can find tons of eyewitness accounts that would suggest to you the same thing. But is there credible evidence? Who knows? I haven't seen any credible evidence to support that. You know what I mean? But that's just me. I'm not knocking anybody who does believe it. I have friends who believe in that too. And I always try to keep an open mind about everything. Aren't we supposed to be dead after the eclipse? Yeah, apparently. And the other thing about the solar eclipse apparently is that the last couple that we've been able to witness in the United States apparently on the map create like a cross, and other things that I've heard talking about how like the totality or the path goes through towns of Nineveh, all these biblical towns that no one's ever heard of in their life. But anyway, it is what it is, man. If that's what you choose to believe, that's what you choose to believe. For me, it's not the path that I take. That's not the thing that I choose to believe. I believe, that the Sumerians had it correct, if we're going to be saying that anybody had it correct about the world, and they did not believe that the earth was flat. So I don't know. It's really difficult to debate anyone about that. But back to the idea about conspiracies in the mind. The reason why, again, part of the reason why everybody gets so addicted to this stuff is because, again, you're depressed. You need something different to research. I know this from personal experience. Again, I've researched just about every single conspiracy that there possibly is. And that's how I know that quite a few of them have literally come to pass. Quite a few of them are actually true, actually credible leaked documents. You know what I mean? But as far as like credible leaked documents on Flat Earth, I have not seen a single one. But I'm sure that somebody, feel free to comment, show me something that I don't know about it, and maybe I'll believe it. But I don't think so. Send me messages. One town was rapture in the middle of the intersection. Okay. I heard that too. I literally heard that too. But in all honesty, I haven't taken the time to research the things that people were saying in those videos. So yes, I know it's sometimes really convenient that like pastors will get up on the thing and they'll post a YouTube video and they'll be like, it's going through the town of Rapture. It's going through the town of Nineveh. And God knows if those towns actually exist or they just made this crap up on a map. You know, I haven't taken the time to research it, so I can't refute it or not. You know what I mean? But I always do find it convenient that when these events happen, people come up with different scriptures or different things to make it fit in the narrative. Like, again, apparently we have 40 days to repent or something like that. And, you know, we're going to be judged. And, you know, hey, if at the end of the 40 days the world starts collapsing into chaos and we all start dying, I guess at that point I will repent and I will shut the hell up. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Until then, I'm gonna continue on that the world is keeping going. And I've heard a lot of people talking about, you know, the this is a sign from aliens or whatever like that. And like to me, I don't think it's a sign of anything. I think that this is a normal event that has happened for eternity on our planet, and we should start to focus on why the ancient peoples all over the world kept like celestial calendars within all of their ruins, and maybe we'll start to understand the true meaning of things like solar eclipses and all that neat stuff, you know, different solar alignments. Like, it's all over the planet. Like, that's the other thing I'm obsessed with is ancient civilizations. um if you ever heard of Graham Hancock, literally read almost all his books now. I'm obsessed with his stuff. He's basically an investigative journalist who's gone around the world to visit all these sites and actually see these things for themselves and talk to different researchers around the world, not just from mainstream archaeology, because again, when you research stuff from a certain perspective, it keeps you trapped in a box. Like, I tend to think outside the box on a lot of things. I was merely talking about flat earth because, again, one of the counter arguments to that is like they always say, hey, you're just accepting everything you've ever been told your whole life is true. But that's exactly the same thing that's going on when the evidence comes from the Bible. You're taking everything that you've ever been told in the Bible as complete and total fact without questioning. Anytime you can start to question the religious narrative or any of these narratives, it falls apart every single time because it doesn't make any sense. For me, again, I've researched almost every ancient text that you can think of, and to me, the Bible is a watered down version of older texts. And whether or not you want to believe that, it's fine. It doesn't matter. You know, do the research for yourself. I recommend looking into all the Zechariah Sitchin's books and all the different Sumerian tablets or cuneiform texts that have been deciphered and see it for yourself. If that story from those texts isn't true, it's the probably the best story of our history I've ever heard. And what's crazy about that is that actually fits the different stuff we have all around the world that they can't explain. You know what I mean? Nobody can explain these ancient ruins, how they built them, why they were built to astronomical alignments, how they knew that, how they knew about stuff they shouldn't have had. That's the kind of stuff that piques my interest. It gets me all fired up. Be happy to know my tea is not burning my insides now, but the ginger does help. Hello. Oh, how's it going? Hope the video quality is better. I'm using my camera plugged in. Hope you are should be working, and certainly it seems like you're not working there. I'm getting ready to go to bed here pretty soon. I'm dying, like red-faced. Hijacked Mark's computer. Sweet. Yep, just out here talking about flat Earth stuff I was talking to you about earlier when you'd be rolling your eyes at me. But it's okay, I'll just be wandering about. All right. Let's see what else do I got. Get distracted here. Anyway, I don't know if there's like an eclipse coming out. I was the one that brought it up. Yeah, you were. You're right. You're right. You were the one that brought it up. I like bouncing ideas off of people, and you did bring up that you're coworker was a flat earther and that he sends your boss stuff all the time. Oh my god, distracting people in family chat. All right. Anyways, that's about all I got on that part. We were talking, me and Ricky were supposed to talk about what was it this last week? The Emerald Tablets of Thoth and the Book of Enoch. Again, a lot of people mistake that because I don't necessarily dog on biblical texts, but when people put so much emphasis on it, it always makes me want to counter argue, because I think that people don't understand the origins of the text that they worship. You know what I mean? People really don't. People have never questioned outside of that. And that's the problem I've always had with religion. That's why I can't get trapped in that box. You know what I mean? But I do like to research different religious texts, and the Book of Enoch and the Emerald Tablets of Thoth was one of them. I'm definitely going to talk about that with Ricky on Monday. Who the heck wanted me to talk about my coworker wanted me to talk about extraterrestrials and that idea. Said that there's always a lot of more extraterrestrial activity, apparently UFO activity around eclipses and whatnot. But anyway, I'm about to wrap this up. I just wanted to get on and break the ice, and still not feeling 100%, but at least I get what is going on here with this chat. Anyway, the answer is we are in purgatory. What if we are, bro? I've thought about that for a long time. Like, we could easily, the world could have ended a long time ago, and this could be some type of a purgatory. Like, I think about that crap all the time. Like I was talking about earlier, I also think that we possibly live in a simulation. Like, there's lots of things that I believe in, but not necessarily that the Earth is flat. Let's just say it right there. I'm gonna put it right out there. Put it out there, so people know. Lots of things I believe in, but not necessarily that the Earth is flat. Do we live in a simulation? Maybe. Do we live in purgatory currently? Maybe. Do we live in hell? If hell exists, probably. Anyway, better jump off and get ready to go to bed here because I got to get up obscenely early. Hope y'all have a wonderful evening.